Welcome to quick tip number 40, Stash Wyslouch here. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for checking out the Patreon where you can get supplemental materials to everything you're watching today, before, and after. Today's quick tip, voice lead your spread triads. You've had 2 weeks since our last quick tip, so hopefully you've checked out some spread triads a bit in the meantime and gotten kind of comfortable with at least one or two of the fingerings and shapes. Now we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to voice lead the triads. Let's do it in the key of G. Let's take a root position G spread triad. I'm going to do this fingering right now. My goal here is I want to voice lead a 1 to a 4 chord back to a 1, and then a 1 to a 5 chord back to a 1. If you don't know what voice leading is, check out my previous quick tip that talks about voice leading closed position triads. In the key of G, 1 to a 4 is a G to a C. Remember, when we voice lead, we begin by finding a common tone between the two chords that you're moving to and from. Then we accommodate the other notes that are not in common with each other to affect the chord change. G to C, 1 to 4. We start with the root inversion. The note they have in common is the G. So now I need to find a spread triad with that note in it. So we go from a root inversion spread G triad to a second inversion spread C triad, and then back. Next we're going to do a 1 to a 5 chord, a G to a D chord. We find the common tone. The common tone between a G chord and a D chord is the note D. So now we accommodate the other notes to affect the chord change to D. It becomes a first inversion D chord, spread triad. G to D, back to G. Cool. Now I might just practice that a few times. It's a nice, pleasant sound. Another thing I like about this voice leading exercise is, like we noticed last time, there's all these different fingering options for each one of these positions, each one of these inversions. With this, it kind of limits it if you want to hold one note over through the chord change. It's more practical then, despite the fact that it's the same notes in the second chord we're playing. Okay, last, let's put it through a song. How about the Rocky Road Blues? Let's give it a nice funky rhythm. Oh, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. Oh, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. Some other man has got my woman and gone. Online private lessons. Please send me an email if you'd like to book a lesson package. Thanks so much for tuning in, for subscribing, checking out the Patreon page, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.